Hey guys, what's going on? Druzy here, back again with another South Park Phone Destroyer video, and we've got some balance changes, a ton of them to talk about, but I'm going to open up my seasonal resets for Legendary Season. We're going to start on the Adventure Locked account, and then we'll move on to the main account real quick. Before we get to all the balance changes, because there are a ton of cards that are going to get some changes this go around, about 12 cards total are getting some kind of change done to them. So here we go on the Adventure Locked account first, like I said. So we already know the materials we're going to be getting. Some Smuggler Ike, some Terrence and Phillip, some Rats. We get some Buck Bebe, some Big Gay Al. We get some President Garrison. We get some Woodland Critters. And we actually get a Legendary this time. We do get a Satan. So I've gotten 2 Satans actually this week for this account. So that's huge. To get Satan closer to level 3 on the Adventure Locked account, so that is really cool all around there. And as you can see, we will restart at 65.89 for the new season on the locked account. Alright, so here we are on the main account real quick before we get to the balance changes again. So we finished, the highest we got to was 9,003 on the season. Didn't really make that significant of a push, and honestly, I'll probably never make 10k, just to be honest with all of you. So there we go, we get some cash, we get some stuff here, we get some materials. Hopefully we can get some power serums. 6, cool. Thank you so much, game. Alright, so we get some Alien Clyde, which we already have to max. We get some Shaman Token here, some Freeze Ray. We get some Mythical, okay. We get 50 Catapults, okay. We get 9 Space Toilets, so he's 8 away from 5, which doesn't really matter. 6 Jesus or Jesus, and our Leggy, we get 2 Shield Maiden Wendy's. Alright, so Shield Maiden is 4 away from level 5, which is really good because she's actually a very strong legendary card right now. So there we go, and our seasonal reset will put us at 78 to start the new season. Alright guys, so again, let's get to the important stuff and what you guys all really care to see and know about. And let's start, of course, with the weekly timetable real quick. So we'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. So as of today, as of the recording of this video, the Cheesy Poofs mission on Tuesday the 3rd is going on. There will be a card usage event on Wednesday and Thursday for Woodland that will be centered around Woodland Critters. There's also going to be the Close Combat Challenge for Chaos Mode if you guys care about that. There will be another little mini Cheesy Poofs event on Friday, and then of course the weekend event will be happening Saturday and Sunday with Archangel Bradley as the focus. So remember, there's still Cheesy Poofs out there. They come until the 9th is at 12 UTC, which I'm not sure when that is for me personally. I think that's like 8 or 9 a.m. my time or something like that. But I'm Central Standard Time, so you know, you can always Google search that to find out officially if you want to know how long you can collect Poofs for. And remember, the Poofs shop will stay open for 2 days following the end of that time frame. Plus, it will tell you in game how much longer you have to collect Cheesy Poofs if you're confused as well. So there we go. That's all of that. If you want to see the cards that will be used in the Woodland Critters event, these are the Woodland Critters cards here on the side here. I'm going to skip that real quick. And then, of course, if you want to know the cards involved with the weekend event, that is here in this list here with Archangel Bradley starting that list out. I will post a link down below for this patch notes information if you want to dive into it yourselves. Here are the point system and point structure and all that stuff. But let's talk about what we actually give a crap about, which is the upcoming balance changes. So first and foremost, there will be adding some new cards to the pool here coming up with this update. Now this update will go live August 9th, which is a week from today. It is not going live today. Generally the balance changes go live at the same week of seasonal reset for Legendary Arena, but that is not the case again this time. So it will happen next week, so we will have to deal with these problems for another week. So we have new cards are coming to the rotation. Scuzzlebutt, Infiltrator Kevin, and Castle Defender will all come to full circulation on the 9th when this balance changes go live, which for me, I'm actually, you know, trying to get Scuzzlebutt, so I'm actually kind of excited about that. Some people are starting to like Infiltrator Kevin, so he'll be added there. I know you can't see it, but it is a little out of frame there. But there you go, Infiltrator Kevin. Once you reach Arena 9, Castle Defender goes up to Arena 4 on that and stuff. Sorry, I had to move that around a little bit. Okay, so first balance change that we see, Mayor McDaniels, who's a card that is not in the meta at all. And it's very weird. They're trying to make a lot more range units, more, I guess you could say, glass cannon-y focus more on attack and less on health. Like, they don't survive as well, and they do more damage. And that seems to be the case here with Mary McDaniels. Not the significance of some of the other cards that have received huge attack increases, but she gets a 50% attack boost. She loses 11% of her health. The time between her attacks will increase, so her basic attacks will go down 24%. Her range will be increased by 6% to 3.7, which is fairly good. It's not as good as some other range cards, so I think the Timmys have some of the best range in the game. Also, Nathan has insane range as well. But 3.7 is pretty good. That's in zap range if my memory serves, so they could still die to zap range damage. Her aggro range will be increased, but I think 3.7 is the same as visitors if my memory serves also. Her aggro range will be increased by 19%, and her power duration at level 1 will be increased by 150% from 3 to 7.5, and will reach 15 at level 7. So remember, her power is that she basically removes all, like, she's a power bind essentially in her own thing. So that will reach 15 seconds duration at level 7. So it goes up almost double between level 1 and level 7. So I would assume it would go up maybe 0.5 each level that she receives. So you'd probably get her at 8 at level 2, 8.5, and so on and so forth maybe. I don't know, maybe it'll go up more significantly than that. But will this put Mayor McDaniels back in the meta? I don't know. She's not even in the meta. I don't think she ever really was. She definitely was better since they changed that her ability or her power didn't affect all charged units on the field, including your own. So that's interesting. With Mayor McDaniels, I don't think that's really, I don't know how much it's going to change her. Maybe make her more efficient for like team wars and stuff like that. We'll just have to wait and see how people play her, if they are excited about the change for Mayor McDaniels or not. Mosquito, surprisingly, is getting a buff to himself, but a nerf to his swarm. So his actual base health and his attack personally is going up 20% for his health, 12% for his attack, but his mosquito swarm is losing 31% of their health, 33% of their attack, or their attack will be increased 33%, sorry. So the attack gets boosted, the health gets decreased, and the time between their attacks is increased, so they don't attack as fast, but they hit harder, and their health will be decreased. So he's not going to actually get more health back. I don't think the health doesn't scale to the amount of damage the Mosquito Swarm does. It's just every time the Mosquito Swarm attacks, then Mosquito gets his health back. So it's saying their DPS remains unchanged, so the slow to the amount of times between attacks, but even though the damage is boosted, the DPS doesn't change, and that tracks based on the percentages. So will this make Mosquito, I mean, Mosquito's already really strong, and he's in the meta for superheroes. Pretty much, if you run superheroes, you should run Mosquito, and I don't think this is going to change, obviously. Inuit Kenny gets a complete, almost rework. This is very interesting and very confusing on Inuit Kenny. So I'm going to do the best I can to try to explain this, but we don't fully understand it all yet. In some of the discords I've seen and some of the discussions I've seen already, his power damage will be decreased by 95%. So, again, the power damage means he doesn't insta-kill anymore. So he's not a cancel card anymore. So that's what that means right off the rip. So he's doing 95% less damage on his power duration. His power will work on totems, objects, and new kits from now on. The new kit damage will be 100. So he's basically a chip unit now, which is weird. Does his power affect multiple units? I have no effing idea. I do not know. We will have to wait and see till next week to figure out what the hell Inuit Kenny does now, because it doesn't make any sense. His attack is going down 11%. His health is going down 7%. The time between his attacks will be decreased by 25%, but his DPS will be increased by 19%. So he's going to be doing more damage himself. He's actually a true assassin unit now, not a cancel card, which is strange. So Red Lynx is really trying to get away from cancels doing immediate damage and killing things. This is probably a healthy change because people were just sleeping on Inuit Kenny and leaving it alone. This means I'll have to level up Inuit Kenny on my Adventure Locked account because now he's not going to be doing insta-killing. So this hurts Adventure Locked. This really does, because now Adventure Locked doesn't have a direct cancel anymore. So yeah, the closest I have to a direct cancel on my Adventure Locked account now is Commander Hat. Really. So this is interesting. This is going to be a big change for people that run Adventure Locked accounts, including myself. You know, what are we going to be doing now to try to do this, take out some of these big, beefy units directly? It's going to be much more difficult now. Warhero Ned's getting an increase, which is probably needed. He dies way too easily. So he gets 7% to health, 8% to attack. This is a big change that's been wanted as far as Hunter Jimbo getting a nerf. So he does get a nerf, and it is to his direct ability. His buff now lasts for 15 seconds rather than being permanent. So for it sounds like the first 15 seconds, he will apply that buff to units. Now here's the kicker. Does that mean after the 15 seconds that reinitiates and he re-adds the buff back? Or does it mean that when he dies, that it lasts for 15 seconds as long as he's alive, and then once he dies, obviously that would reset? Which is, the second option in my question posed makes more sense. If his buff now lasts just for 15 seconds, then he has to die to reset, to reinitiate the buff. That's fine. I think that's a healthy change. Again, Hunter Jimbo's stats as a whole are not great. His health is not that good, so he dies fairly quickly, and there's a lot of easy ways to deal with him, namely Dragon Slayer Red, right? You could cancel him, things like that. Hunter Jimbo wasn't a huge threat by himself, but this is an interesting change. What do you think about this? Is this enough of a nerf for Hunter Jimbo? It is warranted. He definitely needed some change. So is this going to be enough? We'll just have to wait and see. Nelly gets a weird change. Her range will be decreased by 60% from 1.5 to 0.6. Her area attack remains the same. So that's interesting. I didn't think Nelly needed a nerf on the range of her attack. So, okay. Manber Pig also got a range decrease on his area attack from 2 to 1. He still does area damage. So his area attack remains the same, meaning he still does cone AoE damage. It's just the range on his attack is decreased significantly. So that's interesting. So Manbear Pig can't hit as far away on his cone. He has to hit much closer. So I guess that makes more sense. That seems to be what they're doing with Nelly as well. Super Craig is getting a nerf. Now this is interesting. So Super Craig, realistically, is still one of the stronger common cards in the game. If not the strong, I don't know if he's the strongest anymore. I would say that it's probably Juice Scout Ike now, especially with this nerf coming to Super Craig. Is Juice Scout Ike going to get a change at some point? Now he's too strong. He's hands down the strongest common card now. But Super Craig, his attack will be decreased by 11%, time between attacks increased by 15%, DPS will be decreased by 23%, his range decreased by 56%, so his cone does less in front of him, and his area attack remains the same. So he still does a cone AoE damage, it has less range, does less damage, and that's really about it. So his health didn't get a change, just his damage for Super Craig, so he doesn't hit as hard, not as strong. I guess, again, this affects lower levels, like Bronze and Silver League more than it does Legendary Arena, because you don't see Super Craig in Legendary hardly at all. Professor Chaos is getting a nerf. Now, Professor Chaos is arguably, to me, has been the strongest superhero card for a little while now. Even with the changes to Call Girl, even with Mysterion, I still think Professor Chaos has a ton of value. He can't be mind controlled, right? Can't be affected by that. He does that nice little burst damage that stuns. He's a solid card. So his attack's going down 5. His health's going down 5. Attack down 4. DPS down 4%. So it's not a huge nerf to Professor Chaos, just a slight tweak. So I don't think it's going to take him away or make him worse. And then Mary Jane Randy's attack will be decreased by 28%, so he doesn't attack as far away, which I think is good. That's something that was still kind of a nuisance for Mary Jane Randy. And then they made a change to Dr. Timothy here. That's more of a bug fix and a balance change. His power target will not block ground units while flying. So when he picks up a unit, right, it was blocking ground units from getting past him. Now they will go under him with Dr. Timothy now. So that is all the balance changes, guys. Quite a bit of stuff. So 4 changes to superheroes. We got a couple of neutral cards. We get 3 changes to adventure or 5 changes to superheroes. So no changes to mystical, no changes to sci-fi. So sci-fi is the biggest nuisance right now in this meta, and mystical has always been kind of a nuisance. They don't get any changes. It's a lot of changes to cards that seem to be more affecting lower levels. So a lot of superhero changes and neutral changes, But the biggest change coming to Inuit Kenny, that's by far the biggest change, even bigger than the Hunter Jimbo tweak. But yeah, so this is going to be interesting to really see how all this pans out. What are your thoughts and opinions? Obviously, I'm disappointed that there's no sci-fi changes at all. There need to be something done. Sci-fi's just running rampant right now in this meta, and it doesn't look like that's stopping anytime soon. So Redlinks changes a few things that were very nuisance driven with these changes, but a lot of stuff left out. So hopefully, I mean, we have to wait another month to see if we get some of these changes that we need. But there we go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, you know who it is.